There are, I guess so.
Okay, I believe we are recording.
I
It says
think we
recording.
are. All right, well, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. January 25th, 2021, and it's 6:03, and should have this by memory, but we've determined that an in-person meeting is not practical or prudent because of the current COVID-19 pandemic disaster and associated building restrictions. Public access to the meeting is being provided remotely or by phone. Additionally, public comments can be submitted before the meeting to Gina at fondulaclibrary.org and for recitation into the public record during the public participation. So we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order, Tammy.
Mr. Sherwood,
Here.
Mr. Gross,
Here.
Mr. Cadwallader,
Here.
Mrs. Cole,
Here.
Mr. Laswell, Mrs. Humphrey,
Here.
and Mrs. Hanks.
Here.
Okay, well, welcome to 2021. What better place to be, I suppose, than in our homes tonight anyway, at this moment with the weather. So is there any public participation that you're aware of, Gina?
I do not see any public in the meeting, and I did not receive any messages to that effect before the meeting. So I guess not.
Okay, I guess not. Okay, well, that moves us right along to the introduction of the new Youth Services Manager. I'll let you introduce her.
Very good. Well, hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Alice Mitchell is our new Youth Services Manager, and she is joining us here tonight. I wanted to give her just a few moments to introduce herself to the board. She has been here since the 5th, I believe, first Tuesday after we got back from the holidays. And I'm so happy she's here. It's working out so well so far. So I will turn the floor over to Alice.
I'm glad you agree it's working out well. I've been really enjoying my time here at Fond du Lac. So I graduated with my MLS a couple years ago. I've spent time in libraries out in New Jersey and most recently up in Northern Illinois. And I'm really excited to join the team here at Fond du Lac District Library. I've really enjoyed getting to know all the staff, especially the youth services staff. Everyone's been really nice and very friendly. They're helping answer all of my numerous questions. So thank you so much for having me.
Welcome.
Well, welcome to the library staff. We're glad to have you with us.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome.
Alice has the role to lead up kind of our summer reading committee first and off the bat here, and she'll be joining our Star Wars Day committee as well. Star Wars Day will be, again, looking kind of virtual and things like that this year. So she's already taking some, yes, she's a manager. So of course she's taking leadership positions, but big projects right off the bat as well. And I'll turn the floor back over to you, Alan.
Okay. Well, welcome to the library here in East Peoria, Illinois. We'll move along to the agenda review. Anybody have any modifications to tonight's agenda? And hearing none, we'll move along to the consent agenda, the approval of minutes of November 30th, 2020, regular meeting and executive session, and the approval of the bills. You need a motion.
So moved. This is Ron.
Okay.
I'll second, Mark.
All right. Any discussion? All right. Tammy, need a roll call?
Mr. Sherwood,
Yes?
Mr. Gross,
Yes.
Mr. Cadwallader,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole,
Yes.
Mr. Laswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Hanks,
Yes.
Mrs. Humphrey.
Yes.
All right. Motion carried. We'll move along to Ron and the treasurer's report.
I have a
Ron?
question. Did you do both of them? Did you do the regular and the executive?
Yes, I
Okay.
believe I did say
Okay.
that. Yeah.
I missed it. Thank you.
Mhm.
Evening all. Yeah, I don't have anything to add over and beyond what's already in the agenda packet for tonight. Tammy, I don't know if you have anything else to add to it, but
I
I've
did
got
add
nothing.
one bill today. Over the weekend, we got our insurance bill for the building. So I cut a check for that today. It was $5,300.
Okay. So we added
Something
an
like
insurance bill. Yep. So we added an insurance bill, but
We
other than
added an
that,
insurance
nothing.
bill
Other than
today.
that, nothing. Yeah.
It was prepared on January 15th. It was arrived today and it's due the 30th. So
Gotta
they
love
didn't
it.
give us much time there.
I guess we'll pay that.
Would be a good idea. All right, Ron, thanks a lot. And we'll move along to the director's report and Gina.
Hello, hello. In my packet, as always, was my report to you for January. I did want to add that both Tammy and Teresa Johnston's positions have been posted because of their upcoming retirements. Tammy's went up the end of the week before last. I had emailed everyone about that because I did want to get moving on that because of timelines. And Teresa Johnston's was posted today. In addition to the fraudulent unemployment claim that I reported in my director's report, we received another one today. This time it was not from a current employee, but a former employee. Again, this was not our current or former employee acting fraudulently, but rather being a victim of identity theft. So I went and filed the protest form and letter for that today, as well as contacted that employee with the unfortunate news that something had been filed in his name. The reopening plans were sent to the board last Thursday, I believe, as well as a text or a voicemail asking for you to get back with me. But I did want to double check and see if there are any points of discussion or questions before we proceed with our announcement tomorrow.
I have none. I don't have any either.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Alan, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I admire everything that you have done as far as the COVID crisis, as far as being cautious on the manners in which you're doing everything, and opening just when you see pretty much, obviously the coast is clear, but you're taking all the information that you receive. And so I think what you're doing, I think you're making a good call by doing that. And this has been a great learning curve, a learning experience. And I think we're coming out very well. So keep up the good work.
Okay, thank you. Other than that, were there any questions about anything else that was in my report in the packet?
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say that I was really happy to see how much we received in grant money for cures, I think it was.
Mhm.
That was awesome. So great job.
Yep. Tomorrow, once these bills are paid, once this last chunk of bills is officially paid tonight, we have almost all our paperwork, and tomorrow I'll submit the final reimbursement request for that. So I think our final reimbursements, assuming what I submit tomorrow will be approved, in which case I have no reason to believe they won't be, because many of them are similar things to what have already been approved. I think we're like $82 or something like that, short of $25,000. So.
Wow.
Any other questions from the director's report? Okay, that's all I have from that.
Okay. All right. We'll move along to communication and correspondence library statistics.
As always, statistics are in your packet. With the building being closed, CERC will continue to be low. It was also December, CERC goes low in December. January will probably still look a little low when we review them in February, but I anticipate with the the building opening on February 1st, we'll start to see CERC go back up again. I can't really estimate when CERC will be back to normal. That might be quite a long time. But baby steps at this point. There was also some correspondence pieces from our staff in your package.
Yeah, they were very nice. Nice to get those.
Were there any
Anybody have
questions about the statistics?
Okay, thank you very much. I guess we will move on to the remaining couple items. Action items. Action item 2021-0101, review of previously closed minutes. And we need a motion.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Okay.
This is an action that the board has to take twice a year. As always, I feel like we just did it. But the board does need to take action biannually as to whether they want to keep closed minutes closed or open closed minutes. So that's why it is on the agenda. You'll see it again in July.
Okay. Well, having no questions, I guess, Tammy, we need a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Sherwood,
Yes?
Mr. Gross,
Yes.
Mr. Cadwallader,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole,
Yes.
Mr. Laswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Hanks,
Yes.
Mrs. Humphrey.
Yes.
Motion carried. And number 2 action item is 2020-0102, revision of the emergency FMLA and emergency paid sick leave policy due to COVID-19. And we need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, and second.
Yeah, this is Ron. I'll second it.
Okay.
As I kind of gave everyone a heads up last month, the Emergency FMLA and Emergency Paid Sick Leave Act that was part of the Families First Coronavirus Response Act, I believe, mandated that we provide certain leave due to COVID-19. The mandatory portion of that act did expire on December 31st. There was some discussion as to, we were getting towards the end of December, we didn't have a meeting. Were they going to extend it at the last minute? Was it going to be made retroactive back to January 1st? Still to date, I am not aware that this was changed any other than they extended the tax credits to those organizations that benefit from tax credits and made them made the leave voluntary. And as I noted in my packet last month, if it wasn't going to be extended or made retroactive, I've revised our policy to propose that this leave be extended through the end of June. We are still to the point where we would have situations where people should not come to work due to COVID exposure and things like that. It hasn't trickled off so far yet that I would recommend people have to use their own leave for that. And so I revised the policy so that we would extend that, the availability of that coverage through the end of June at this point.
So all the information that's listed here, that basically is just a carryover. And with
It is. It just basically says, oh, we didn't expire, the law expired on December 31st, but the library is opting to still offer this coverage through June 31st. Voluntarily, but under our own policy, I guess, is how I would explain it.
And around June 30th or shortly before, then make a determination if it was going to be extended even further or if that's where it ends.
True. I would recommend we get further into this year before determining if this is something that needs to go beyond that point. The optimist in me would like to think that, by the end of June, everyone that would like to be vaccinated could be vaccinated. I don't know if that'll happen or not. But I felt that was the end of our fiscal year. That was a good kind of reconsideration point at that point as well.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions or comments? Okay,
None.
Tammy, go ahead. Go ahead and do a roll call vote, please.
Sherwood,
Yes?
Mr. Gross,
Yes.
Mr. Cadwalader,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole,
Yes.
Mr. Laswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Hanks,
Yes.
and Mrs. Humphrey.
Yes.
All right, the motion is carried. And finally, does anybody have any closing comments before we adjourn?
I want to say congratulations to Tammy.
Thank you.
Mhm.
We'll miss you for sure, but it's been a
Thank you.
pleasure
I'll
working
miss
with you
all
the
of
last
you
couple of
guys.
years.
But it's time. It's been a long time. I mean,
There's always public participation.
there is.
Maybe she'll run for the board.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, you can join Friends of the Library too, you know.
Yes, I could do that
Yeah.
as well.
You can even host a TV show with Lee Press on nails.
Oh, there you go. And turn pages and watch them pop off.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Nobody wants to let go of you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you very much. I will miss all of you, but it's time. I've got a lot going on. So,
All right. Well, we need a motion to adjourn until February 22nd.
I'll
So
make a
moved.
motion. Second.
Okay.
is that Colleen?
Yeah.
Okay. And roll call vote?
Mr. Sherwood,
Yes.
Mr. Gross,
Yes.
Mr. Cadwalader,
Yes.
Mrs. Cole.
Yes.
Mr. Laswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Hanks,
Yes.
and Mrs. Humphrey.
Yes.
All right. Well, gavel's been hit. Time is up, and we'll see you all February 22nd, if not before. Thank you
Sounds
very
good.
much.
Have a
Thank
good night,
you.
guys.
All right.
Y'all.
Hey, drive safe
Good
tonight,
night,
guys.
everyone.